Hi, my name is Ron Pote. I'm owner and CEO of NanoOxygen Systems. We're a ultrafine bubble technology company that focuses on the golf industry. About 5 years ago, I had an opportunity to learn a little bit about this ultrafine bubble technology. And my background is water and wastewater treatment. And I was always interested in golf. I love the game. I love playing the game. And now that I've learned a lot more about the infrastructure of a golf course, it's been really interesting to me that the largest input that a golf course uses, the water, is hardly managed. And so I looked at that as an opportunity. I said, what can I do to help this industry? And so I spent some time evaluating different equipment, different processes. And what I decided to do in 2019, I decided to try to find the best of every piece of equipment I could to integrate into a full system. Unlike a company that specializes only in their particular equipment, for instance, their nanobubble processor, we try to pull all of the most important and most effective technologies across the board and put that into an engineered system. So our system uses a Rapid Water Technologies cavitation ultrafine bubble generator. It's a non-moving piece of equipment. Basically, it creates shear and shears the gas into the water and forms bubbles that are smaller than a virus and bubbles that number over 62 million bubbles per milliliter. So it's a high concentration, very, very small bubble. The beauty of that is that when ultrafine bubbles are formed, they don't float. They're not buoyant. They're not big enough to be buoyant. So the gas cargo inside that bubble stays suspended in the water column. Our initial projects in algae control was where I got my start, addressing pond algae, and primarily at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. And they had a number of problems with algae in their pond. It's a large lake. It's about 22 acres, 65 million gallons, I believe, and it's about 15 feet deep. And so I initially employed the technology there using a commercial system and air instead of oxygen. What I found from that was it wasn't powerful enough to do the job. And after some evaluation, I decided to go out on my own and build my own system. So as I said, we brought in the rapid water equipment. We also added a very, very good compressor that's very reliable, a rotary compressor. We added air sep unit, which allows us to absorb nitrogen from the air and produce nearly 100% oxygen concentration gas, and then ozone as well. And so as I put that together in a system, I incorporated the oxygen to give us bulk dissolved oxygen. I started asking these golf course superintendents, my focus was on algae, and I started asking them about agronomy and about irrigation water quality. What I found was that when I discussed dissolved oxygen and how important it was for a grower of horticulture or a farmer or a water treatment plant, everybody measures dissolved oxygen. I didn't find too many superintendents in the golf industry that knew what their dissolved oxygen levels were. It's just not something that they measured. So as we got into that a little bit further and started investigating the sources of irrigation water, what we found is that most of the irrigation water used in the industry and the places that I had checked was substandard, was at what we call anoxic, or less than 4 parts per million of dissolved oxygen. And that's not healthy for plants. So I got thinking about that a little bit. I realized that not only could we control algae, but we could build a system that would do both. We could control algae in the irrigation pond. We could send that water around the golf course, backfeed all their individual ponds and eliminate algae. And then we could also use that same water when we irrigate and make it healthier. So I embarked on a plan to integrate the entire system, not just for algae control, but also for irrigation water.